Hey, what's up, everyone? Zach D Productions here. Welcome to another live stream. So, we're just going to chill for a bit and just talk about whatever. Um, didn't really have much else to do today, so just decided, you know what, I'll go ahead and do a live stream. So, hope you all are doing well. For me, times are kind of tough. I'm still looking to get a vehicle. I still don't have a vehicle currently. It's been one of my life's biggest obstacles because I never thought I would have to struggle with this a day in my life. But isn't it funny now that I have to? Isn't it funny now that, all of these problems I had now, I never dreamt I would have had 2 years ago, you know? But you know how it is. Something's got to get done. That's all I can say about that. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Andrew, how's it going? But yeah, I don't plan on this stream being that long either. Just wanted to, I guess, just talk for a bit, about whatever. But that's kind of my whole situation right now. Is I'm trying to get myself a vehicle, but it's tough. Like I never thought it would be this tough, you know. So because I have places that I gotta be, and I mean, I do have a ride to work and everything, but besides that, you know, it's not a very reliant source of transportation otherwise. So it's really been stressful, guys. It really has been. And then a certain someone wants to say, "Oh, you don't have a car because that's your fault." Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's totally my fault. Yeah, that was totally my choice, guys. Totally. Andrew, I'm getting a Deftones t-shirt from the exchange on Friday. Oh, cool. Yeah, can't go wrong with exchange or Deftones. Yeah, I have two Deftones t-shirts. I have one with the Ohms album cover on it, and I have one that has a cat on it. But yeah, I like both of those shirts. Oh, and then the other thing that I'm kind of ticked off about. So I pre-ordered Demon Hunter's latest album, There Was a Light Here, on CD on Amazon, mind you. Which, looking back, I probably should have just got it from their online store. But apparently, it's telling me Amazon is telling me to update payment method. Well, I'm like, well, doesn't look like I can get the album right now. So yeah, I'm just screwed, guys. Like my whole life is just so screwed right now. Hey, what's up, Sonia? But yeah, at some point I'll get the album on CD. It's just gonna take a little bit more time. I'm just gonna have to wait longer than I wanted to, but it is what it is. Hey, what's up, Rage Master? What are your thoughts on Romeo Must Die? I just got the movie the other day. Romeo Must Die with Jet Li. I like the film. It's not one of my favorite Jet Li films, but I think it's good for what it is. I definitely prefer Kiss of the Dragon and Unleashed, and even The One. I just prefer those movies. But Romeo Must Die is not bad. It's not a bad movie. Hey, what's up, Common Rider 64? How's it going? But yeah, my whole financial situation has just been very screwed. I mean that's why that's why I just had to get a job, and just said, look, I got to have a means of transportation. As long as that's provided for me, then I should be good there. But even then, it's not like I get paid that much at this job. So, but it's better than nothing. I don't know. This whole situation has just gotten me. Oof. I don't know, guys. I don't know how long I can deal with this. um, but yeah, Jet Li. I do like Jet Li a lot. Definitely one of my favorite on-screen martial artists. I think he's up there with like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. In my opinion, I think he's almost as good as those guys. Now, when it comes to martial artists, I don't think anyone could top Bruce Lee, but I mean, Jackie Chan comes pretty close though, um, because Jackie Chan, he does his own stunts and everything, and you know, I mean, I know there's other martial artists that do as well, but he's of course well known for that. What are your thoughts on the bands Bring Me the Horizon and Motionless in White? Not really into those bands, to be honest. I've never been into, I guess, the emo side of music. I mean, I might have had a phase with it, like maybe like first year of college. The closest I've ever gotten to that phase was probably like back in 2015 when I got into bands like We Came as Romans and The Devil Wears Prada. That's probably the closest that I've gotten to the emo side of music. Have you seen the movie The Crow with Brandon Lee? Yes, I have. I think it's a great movie. Yeah, I think it's great. I've seen that movie a couple times. I think it is very good. But yeah, I don't plan on this stream being too long, guys. Um, my phone is currently at 40% anyway, so yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Caitlin? How's it going? Would you ever do a Blu-ray and DVD collection? Maybe someday. We'll see. We'll see. I also don't have any paid requests currently to do, so that is one thing I will plug in this live stream too. That's also something that does help me out is paid requests. So if anyone would like to send in any paid requests, feel free to do so. Just message me on social media. I'll go ahead and give you my Cash App. And you could request a movie review, music review, discussion video, whatever you would like, of course. Just go ahead and send it in. Hey, what's up? Rockin' Movies with Tyler. How's it going? Have you bought any DVDs or CDs recently? The last CD I bought was 3 Days Grace's latest album, Alienation. I think that's a great album. Honestly, I think it's 3 Days Grace's best album in years too. It might be the best one since the last one with Adam. I probably would say so. I do think it's probably better than all of the Matt Walsh albums, like the solo Matt Walsh 3 Days Grace albums. Because I understand he's still with the band, but Adam is just with the band again. They're just doing vocals together, but Yeah, so 3 Days Grace's latest album, I think that was the last album I bought on CD. The last movie or DVD that I bought, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember, but I'm sure, it'll come to me eventually. What's your opinion on Tubi TV? You mean Tubi? I like Tubi. I think it's probably the best streaming service, and they support independent filmmakers too, which is cool. I love it when Target gets Halloween cereal. I love the Halloween Fruity Pebbles, Captain Crunch, Halloween one. Oh, okay, cool. Favorite comedy actor? I don't know if I consider him my all-time favorite, but one of my favorites would have to be Rowan Atkinson, who was, of course, Mr. Bean. I do like the show Mr. Bean. I don't even mind the movie Bean, which I thought was pretty entertaining. And then there's one called Mr. Bean's Holiday or something like that, which I thought was a fun movie. And then of course I do like the Johnny English films, which so I hear they're doing a fourth Johnny English film. Apparently that's confirmed according to Google, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I liked all three of the Johnny English movies, so yeah. The second one is probably my favorite, but I do like the other two. I'm okay. Been digging new Revocation. Oh, cool. Cool stuff. Will you do Deftones and 3 Days Grace re-rankings? Maybe. Maybe. Now with Deftones, I think the last time I did a Deftones ranking, Ohms was out, and the only difference would be Private Music is in the ranking. So maybe 3 Days Grace is definitely more likely for me to do a re-ranking. I might redo 3 Days Grace. We will see. How much for a movie review? $5. It's $5. Common Rider 64. It's $5 for movie review, album review. For reactions, it's like $3. Tubi, Plex, and Peacock. Which one do you prefer? Definitely Tubi. Caitlin, do you know the band Porcupine Tree? They're pretty great. I've heard of Porcupine Tree. I know Cover Killer Nation really like that band. I'm trying to think what kind of music they make. I want to say it's prog rock, but I don't think they're prog. I don't think it's prog. Um, so Zach is excited for the Wicked sequel. Yeah, totally, Anthony. You mostly know Rowan Atkinson from The Lion King and the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Rowan Atkinson. You don't really see a lot of people talk about him, considering how big Mr. Bean is, and you know, like you don't really see a lot of people talking about him. Like, I would say he's kind of underrated, but he's still like well known. Like it's kind of hard to describe. He's like one of those actors, like who he is, but nobody ever talks about him. And I did see that one series that he did, the more recent one. I think it was like Man versus Bee or something. That series, I thought that was pretty funny. I did see that all the way through that season. I thought that was pretty fun. Do I plan on watching any horror movies this season? Yeah, maybe. There is some that I would like to check out at some point. I did see that there was some horror films on Tubi, so yeah, I have thought about watching some horror films in the month of October. Hey, what's up, Livy? Oh, TV series. mm, that's going to be a complicated one. Common Rider, you're you're looking at a lot more. Hey Zach, it's been a while. Hope everything is all good. Hey, what's up, Christian Perez? Yeah, um, I could be better. You know, there's some complications in my life, but yeah, I'm just kind of taking it day by day, I guess. But yeah, just still trying to get a vehicle, which has been tough, and yeah, really, that's really the big thing right now is just trying to get a vehicle. You know, I've been listening to a lot of emo bands recently. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've been waiting on a phone call from a dealer because I basically applied for one. So yeah, I just gotta wait for them to get back on to me and everything. You know, it's just been very tough. You know, like there's like appointments that we're blowing off. There's just so much that we've been blowing off because of just the lack of transportation. And I don't have the help anymore. That I used to have. And then, like I said, certain people want to get on my case for that and say that it's your fault. It's your fault. How is it my fault? Doesn't make sense. Hey, what's up, Leon? But yeah, I've just been basically working with what I have and just working with what I can get. I did try looking on Marketplace for a vehicle, and yeah, unless I want a car for parts, which a lot of people on Marketplace, for those who don't know, when they're selling vehicles, they mostly sell them for the parts, which that's not what I'm looking to do. Do you listen to pop punk? Not really, Andrew, to be honest. Common Rider 64. So what's going on with your living situation? It's complicated. It's very complicated. Um, and it's been worse since my mom passed away last year. You know, I just, you know, so Zach had nightmares about after watching Shaun of the Dead. Sure. Doing good, just chilling. I'm waiting for a package to come in a half hour. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, Prison Meddler? But yeah, I was advised to also reach out to a church for financial support, um, which I did get an email for an application from them, from a church that I reached out to, but there's complications with that because there's stuff that I need to print out, and the other thing is too is I don't have a printer. So, yeah. And I would go to the library, to print stuff out, but the problem is how do I get to the library? It's just very complicated. This is why, I really need a vehicle. RIP Robert Redford. He was a great actor, iconic. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance. Oh wow. Yeah. Opinion on new metal. I like new metal. I don't love everything in new metal. I'm definitely not a fan of Limp Bizkit. Um, but of course I do like Linkin Park. I like POD, System of a Down, Deftones, if you want to put them in new metal. Korn and Seven Dust. Just to name a few new metal bands that I do like. I have not seen the Amityville horror film from 1979, Dragon Shadow. You go to the library most of the time to upload my videos. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and the other thing is too with my local library, I'll tell you this much: I cannot walk there. I couldn't walk there. What do you think are the big four of Melodeath? Uh, I definitely know the three that would be on there. Those would, of course, be In Flames, Dark Tranquillity, At the Gates, and maybe Arch Enemy. Even though I really don't like Arch Enemy, to be honest. But I wouldn't argue with someone if they wanted to put them in the big four of melodic death metal. And Melodeath is not really a genre that I listen to that much anyway, so doesn't matter if you want to put them in that category. Opinion on grunge music. I like some grunge. Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and Bush. Good stuff. Especially Alice in Chains. What's your opinion on Kenny Loggins Singer? Don't know much about him. Hey, what's up, Sweetwood Reviews? Not really much. Right. Oh yeah. Children of yeah. I forgot about them. I keep forgetting that band even exists. Hi, good evening. Hey, what's up, Larry? Just dropping in for a few minutes. It could be better, Larry. Lester Bronson, how's it going? Do you like My Chemical Romance? Not really. I mean, I think they're okay. Like, I don't hate them or anything, but I just never got into their music. Impact Comics, maybe. What is Impact Comics? Yeah, I'm able to drive Common Rider. It's just I don't have a vehicle. That's the only problem right now. Like, I have my license and everything. In fact, I did just get my license renewed earlier this year, so I got that dealt with. The problem is I just need a vehicle. You're entitled to your opinions, Larry. I'll just leave it at that. Hope all is well, mate. Things could be better, but I'm pushing through, you could say. Lethal Weapon 3? Yeah, that's a great one. I like Lethal Weapon 3. I mean, all four of the Lethal Weapon movies I think are solid. Vitamin Water? Yeah, I like Vitamin Water. Hey, what's up, Darkless? Not a fan of Breaking Benjamin. I'm not a fan of newer Green Day. Well, the only one that I like out of the ones you mentioned, Larry, is Breaking Benjamin. The rest I could live without, but yeah. Oh my gosh. The Comic Jaguar, many other comic book companies have you? So wait. Oh, Impact. Oh, they're a comic book Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Never watched any of the Lethal Weapon movies except the first one. Yeah, the first one I think is probably the best one. And then honestly, my second favorite, I would say 3 is my least favorite, but I do like that one. My second favorite is either 2 or 4, to be honest. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Prison Meddler. I've never been an emo guy. I mean, like I said, the closest that I've gotten to, I guess, the emo side of music, like getting into that phase or whatever, was back in 2015 when I got into bands like We Came as Romans and The Devil Wears Prada. Because some people might call those bands emo, you know? Yeah. I think Andrew was just asking me about Bring Me the Horizon. I'm not really too into them, Livy, to be honest. Here's a question I'm going to ask, and it's mainly out of curiosity. That's all. Yeah, go for it, Common Rider. Early Fallout Boy. Okay, cool. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, what's up? Death Metal Elitist. How's it going? I consider them emo in early days, but I love Motionless in White. Oh, cool. You have watched all 4 Destination films. I'll definitely watch Bloodlines. Tony Todd was in it before his passing. Horror movie icon. Yeah. Wait, isn't there 6 Final Destination movies? I thought that there were 6 of them. If someone gets a restraining order against you, is that person taking legal action against you? Hmm? Uh, I don't know, Common Rider. I think for that one, it just depends. Restraining. I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what a restraining order is, like that person just that person like legally cannot contact you. It, I could be wrong on that, you know. So don't say, oh, well, you're stupid and you don't know anything, because again, don't quote me on it. I might be wrong on that. What was the first video game console you ever played? And two, what are your goals for the rest of 2025? Um, the first video game console I ever owned was a PS2 or played. I know you said played, but yeah, PS2. Um, the goals for the rest of 2025, definitely get a vehicle. Really, that's it. And then the rest of my goals I hope to achieve in 2026, but we'll see what happens. I just, all I'm going to say is if nothing happens or improves, I'm going to really have to put my foot down on certain people. The Final Destination films are on Tubi. I would totally watch it. I don't think they're on Tubi. I don't think I've seen them on there, but you can look. Hey, what's up, Tyrannitherium? Motionless in White is great. Wow. As for Big Four of Melodeath, I noticed many people would either put Soilwork or Amon Amarth as the fourth pick. Yeah, I could see Soilwork being the fourth pick for sure. I'll be honest, when it comes to Soilwork, I don't really listen to them anymore. Like it's weird how much they've dropped off for me. Like I just don't listen to them, you know? Like I don't know. I really liked them when I first got into them, but I just kind of got bored of them for some reason. I don't know what happened. Oh, that's your first console too, Prison Meddler. Cool. Very cool. Don't worry, not everyone has the answers to everything. Right, exactly. You're exactly right on that. Well, he doesn't hate mature rated video games, which is where the hypocrisy kind of comes in. Soilwork, I think they're a solid band, but I consider them as In Flames light. Yeah, I can kind of see that for sure. Yeah, no, Soilwork, they're I think they're objectively a good band. Like I think like I don't think anyone would sit there and say that their music sucks, but I think I don't know. Like there's just something about Soilwork that just I just don't listen to them as much these days. Stabbing the Drama, that might be my favorite Soilwork album though. I think that was their 2005 album. I thought that album was pretty good, and I do like the latter albums too, such as The Living Infinite and The Ride Majestic. I think both those albums are also some of their best. Um, I think there was two that came out after those. I don't remember. I do remember listening to the one that came out after the Ride Majestic, but I thought that one was just okay. And I haven't heard the one that came after that because at that point I just kind of gave up on Soilwork. To each their own, but dude's a loony hypocrite. Yeah. PlayStation and PC games in general brings me a lot of joy. Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to dig out my PlayStation 2 console at some point and get back on that again. Maybe I'll play some games for you guys on there on the PS2. Um, you know, maybe I'll either do like a video walkthrough or maybe I'll stream some games. I don't know. We'll see. Anything's possible. I used to enjoy the old In Flames music as much, such as the Jester Race, but everything else, I just kind of don't care much for them. Yeah. Yeah, In Flames, definitely a hit and miss discography for sure. Have I played the Halo trilogy? Yes, I have. Um, and honestly, my opinions are kind of unpopular when it comes to Halo because, especially when it comes to the older games, because number one, Halo 3 is probably my favorite in the franchise, the whole franchise. Now, of the original trilogy, I would say 2 is my least favorite. And that is where the unpopular opinion comes in because I know that people say that 2 is their favorite. But out of those first 3 games, I just prefer 1 and 3. But with that said, 2 is still a good game. I still think Halo 2 is solid. And it does have the Breaking Benjamin song Blow Me Away on it, which is cool. You know, so I remember last Halloween year I bought the Strangers 2 movie collection. Oh, cool. Natural Born Chaos. Yeah, that's a good album too. Yeah, early Soilwork is pretty good too. What was that? What was that one album? I think it was one they did either. It either came out in the late '90s or it might be. It might have came out in 2000. I don't remember, but it's. Was it called like Chain Heart Machine or something? I remember that album being really heavy, probably their heaviest album. Do I play any mobile games? No, I do not. Video games give me a lot of joy. That's cool. Yeah, I used to be a really big gamer back in my teenage years, but it's just gotten too expensive of a hobby, you know. So I just couldn't keep up with this, especially now. Could you imagine me getting into gaming now? I there was no way I could afford it. No way. I wish PlayStation 2 can come back. Yeah. They might reissue it one day because I know that some companies have reissued some of their gaming consoles, you know, and brought them back. So maybe that'll happen with the PS2 one day. I like melodic death metal, but it gets so melodic to the point where it's not really death metal for me. Yeah, that's fair. Like again, going back to Soilwork, like Soilwork is like borderline metalcore, if you really think about it, because their music is so melodic. Like, especially their more recent material. Like the first 2 to 3 albums, yeah, like definitely mellow death, but after that, they really metalcore their sound, you could say, like fitting in with those bands. And maybe it has to do with the time when those albums came out and everything. And I maybe Soilwork was just riding that wave of like those 2000s bands at the time, when bands like Killswitch Engage and All That Remains, and you know, a lot of those bands were starting to come around, even Demon Hunter too. Um, you could say that they were riding that wave of like early 2000s metalcore, and you know, combining, their singing with the guttural vocals and stuff like that. So, yeah. As for Dark Tranquillity, my favorite album from them would have to be The Gallery. Yeah, The Gallery. I need to re-listen to that one, and in general, I need to listen to more Dark Tranquillity because I don't think I've heard everything from the band yet. But out of everything that I have heard from Dark Tranquillity, Damage Done might be my favorite. I think it's called Damage Done. That's a solid album. You think the GameCube is an underrated console in your opinion? Yeah, kind of. I had a GameCube. Not a bad console. I don't plan on doing much for Halloween in October. I might watch some horror movies though for October. We'll see though. I do need to get into more horror because I'm not as familiar with it. I've always been more of an action movie guy. So yeah, but maybe I'll check out some more horror. I'm sure there's stuff I can find on Tubi. I did watch Creature from the Black Lagoon recently though, and that's a really good movie. If you want to put that in the horror genre. But yeah, I like Creature of the Black Lagoon. I think there's 3 movies of those. I need to check out the other 2 at some point. I remember when I had a PS2, I bought the Mortal Kombat collection and the GTA trilogy. Cool stuff. People would say this same thing about In Flames being called metalcore, starting with Reroute to Remain. Yeah, exactly. Prison Metaler. Like I think a lot of those bands were riding that wave of like metalcoring their sound, you could say. And In Flames is without exception. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Some mobile games do pay money. Yeah, I have some apps on my phone that do pay and do stuff like that, but I'm too lazy. I haven't not been finding the time to do that, to be honest. You know. Uh Damage Done might be my second favorite. Okay. Dark Tranquillity has a solid discography. Their worst album is mid, but nowhere near the level of Siren Charms or Battles. Oh, yeah, no, without a doubt. I do like their one album, Adama, I think it's called, their 2016 album. I thought that one was really good too. Um, I remember liking the title track. I think it was the title track. It was the second song on that album, and then I think Clearing Skies is another one on that one that I remember liking. But yeah, Adama's it's a pretty good album too. No, Rage Master. I've never owned a PS3. Acid Bath, never got into them. But yeah, with the PS3, never. I thought about getting a PS3 back in the day, back in that in its life cycle, but back in that time, I owned an Xbox 360, which I think a lot of people can be in agreement that at the time that was the superior console. And the 360 had many great games too. I mean, you had the Gears of War trilogy, you had like even the Halo games that were out at the time, like Halo 3 and Reach. Um, Now, Call of Duty, I know you could play on PS3 and stuff like that, but of course, you could play those on the 360 as well. What's interesting is that Dark Tranquillity and In Flames swapped vocalists after their first album. Yes, I did know about that. Um, let's see here. Acid Bath only made 2 albums, both flawless albums. When the band ended and they managed to get more popular when they weren't a band. When they returned, the show sold out in 2 hours. Wow, that's one crazy story for sure. You should check out if you want to see some Mind F horror movies. All right, cool stuff. Yeah, but I'll go ahead and I'll try to end the stream at the hour mark because my phone is now at 12%. So yeah, I'll definitely have to charge it here soon. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and just chill, talk for a bit, just hang out. I have heard of them, but I'm not gonna lie, their name kind of turns me off. Death metal elitist. I'm not gonna lie. My opinion on Rob Zombie. Um, I know I was requested 2 of the albums from White Zombie, and I did like those. So if his music is anything like what those albums are like, then yeah, definitely not bad. Some people just say EHG. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, but yeah, this year for music, I think overall has been pretty solid. And we're not even done yet. We're not even done yet. Especially when it comes to October. Um, I know in October we have Soulfly's newest album coming out. We have Testament's new album coming out. Um, so October is looking really good for music. Um, And I would say that already, like as of right now, it's already a better year for music than 2024. 2024, that year really sucked for new music. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like the only thing that came out that year that I felt was really worthwhile, which is really saying something because I don't even return to that album very much, is Judas Priest's latest album, Invincible Shield. Rob Zombie is also a filmmaker and he makes horror movies. I think I did know about that. That is pretty cool. But yeah, I'll try to reach the hour mark and then we will go ahead and wrap it up. But I definitely got to wrap it up at the hour mark. So just keep note of that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know about those, Common Writer. Yeah, the problem with those sites are or those apps is they don't really give you a whole lot, and sometimes they're kind of hit and miss too. Zach is mad that Fred Durst is not the new lead singer of Linkin Park. Oh yeah, totally. How'd you know? Money Time is my jam. Think I might have heard of that one. Maybe I'll look into that one. Hey, what's up, Junebug Films, aka Ty? I don't plan on this stream going on for much longer. I will have to wrap it up at the hour mark. So yeah. But yeah, like I said earlier, I was waiting on a phone call from a dealer, but I never got the call. So I mean, maybe they'll call tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, I got work tomorrow, so if they call while I'm at work, I'll definitely have to pick it up. You know, I'll definitely have to get to it. So, which is fine because my job is pretty laid back where I work, so they won't mind. What's your opinion on physical UMD movies and music for PSP? I never owned a PSP, but I think I did know about those. That is pretty interesting. Oh, Fred Durst is also a filmmaker. Interesting. Don't think I knew that. Really? At $2? Okay. Yeah, because I know with most apps, I think it's $5. Like you can't even cash out till you reach like $5. So yeah, definitely. I'll definitely look into that, Common Writer, because that sounds very convenient. I mean, in some ways, I do get why they make you wait till you reach $5, but yeah, but sometimes you just need just a little bit of money now. Like you don't have the time to be, trying to earn it, like trying to win money. That's my issue with it. There's also Best Play. Okay. Thanks for that. But just to let you know, cashing out at $2 is only to PayPal or Tank. Well, that's fine because I do have a PayPal account. My only thing is with PayPal, or really like my main issue with it is, um, it does take a small cut of it. You know, uh, when you transfer money, at least from my experience, at least, you know, but it's not that much money. I think it's only like 28 cents or something they take a cut of, or something like that. I know it's not that much. He mostly directed music videos. I know he directed Corn's Falling Away from Me music video. Oh, cool. That's interesting. Yeah, I did not know that Fred Durst was a filmmaker. That's very interesting. Yeah, speaking of filmmaking, now for me, some of you guys may know that my future projects are currently put on hold, obviously due to my messed up situation. Um, I just don't have the time or the finances to be making films right now. You know, so yeah, but I have talked with some people, and we're definitely talking to we're definitely talking about some ideas that we have. So yeah, so you may not see another film from me for a little bit. And when I mean a little bit, I mean for a little while. So there's that. And I know, and I think, you know, when it comes to X-Ray, my last film, I think that's one of my best, to be honest. And you know, and even now, like I miss making films. You know, I wish I could. I was going to announce a new film this year, but things went through with the lead actor, at least for now, you know, because I got to, because I got to unionize the film and everything. You know, if I want to get this particular actor involved in the film, I got to get the film unionized because due to contract reasons, my lead actor cannot be a part of it right now. So that's something that I do have to work around. Yeah, Common Rider, you could say that. Um, but I do have other projects that I have in mind that I could be working on for the time being too. You know, that that don't need unionized. But yeah, just for right now, not working on anything. So there's that. Well, I gotta go head off now. I'll see you later. All right. See you, Prison Meddler. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this up in a bit here anyway. 1 minute till the hour mark, so. Yeah, but like I said, if anyone wants to send in any requests, you could feel free to do so. Just message me on preferably Instagram, and I will get back to you, and we can work something out. So just take note of that for anyone that wants to send in any requests. Uh, it's $5 for a movie review. It's $5 for an album review. Um, Reaction video, it's like $3. Song review, probably about the same, $3. Um, yeah, just kind of be wise with it, I guess. You know, just kind of like like Fabio would say, just use your head, basically. Just be mindful of what you're requesting and what you're willing to send in. So, yeah. Now, of course, you can send in more than $5 or $3 if you want, but that's ultimately up to you. But it's just, I'm just talking about the minimum. Lester Bronson, take it easy, dude. I'm heading to the gym. I want to see your movie soon. Take care. All right. Thank you, Lester Bronson. You take care as well. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up here since my phone is at 2% now. I better go charge this thing. But anyhow, yeah, thank you guys for joining this live stream. It's been a pretty chill stream. So yeah, you all take care and have a good one. See ya.